Today I'm taking a look at the very best that Steam has to offer in terms of strategy genre. So let's jump straight to business. This is the top 10 free strategy games on Steam. At number 10 we have Zombie Defense. It's a pretty good tower defense game. Usually I don't like tower defense games, but this one is not as simple and bland as many others. There are many missions and difficulty settings to choose from, and it's easy to find your playstyle. Just like any other tower defense game though, it gets repetitive after some time, but it can still be quite enjoyable. If you like tower defense games, this is a must play, and if you don't, well, I still think you'll find some enjoyment out of it. At number 9 we have Sun. It's an open source RTS with a very old school style of graphics and mechanics. It's often compared to old Warcraft games, and it's certainly not for everyone. The game has a steep learning curve and has no tutorial, but it's not very complicated and you can learn most things by yourself. If you like what you see, try it, but if this old school style doesn't appeal to you, skip it. Oh, and by the way, it also has version support. Number 8. Airmech. Airmech is a well-known fast-paced action RTS that has been around since 2012, but the main problem is that it's still in early access. There aren't that many active players and finding a server may be a pain. In this game you're controlling a mech that commands all other friendly units. The game is very complex, but also fun. Despite its current state, it's still a great game that can be fun in single player as well. It certainly deserves a place on this list, but its state cements the game in 8th place on my list. Number 7. Interloper. Don't know if I pronounced that right, but it's a fun little spaceship combat game in which you create your own set of ships with many different parts. It has a campaign, single player mode and also a multiplayer mode. And you are free to create your fleet where each ship has its own balanced strengths and weaknesses. And the goal of the game is to conquer the other player. It's a small game but very unique and beautiful. If you're into space combat strategy games, this is a must play. Number 6. Shadow Dungeon. This is one of the greatest dungeon crawls I've ever played. It has charming art style and amazing soundtrack. And it's a great time waster, you won't regret trying it out. I'll admit though, there is not that much strategy involved. But since there is some, I made a decision to put it on the list. I really admire the game and I recommend you check it out for some casual fun. But if you're looking for a hardcore and serious strategy game, skip it. Number 5. Card Hunter. Card Hunter is a spin on classic tabletop RPGs. It's closest thing to Dungeons & Dragons you'll get. It has a great turn-based combat and battles are fun and strategical. Equipment options and many unique types of enemies with its incredible card system make the game unique. It's not for everybody, but it has a nice charm to it and I recommend you check it out. At number 4 we have Art of War Red Tides. It's a great strategy in which you take on other players in 1v1 or 3v3 game modes. You have various types of decks with different troops that you play on the battlefield. It's not a card game, let me be clear. Cards are just used to summon units. It's pretty simple, you summon units and they fight on a big battlefield. The team that destroys the enemy's base first wins. It's spiced up with some power-ups and unit management. It's not the most complex or detailed strategy game, but it's certainly fun and relatively balanced. Big recommendation. Number 3. Atlas Reactor. It's a fast-paced, turn-based competitive strategy game. It appeals to both hardcore and casual strategy players. You control only one character out of 4 on the field and you fight the other team. The team that gets to 5 kills first wins. That was the description of the deathmatch game mode, just as an example. Each character has its own abilities and an ultimate ability, just like in MOBAs. The characters have personalities, just like in Overwatch. The game is very tactical and fun to play, but the free model includes character rotation. Just like most of the free MOBAs, for example. This is a great strategy game. I think even people who don't like turn-based games may like it. Even people who don't like strategy games at all. Whoever you are, you'll find something appealing in this game. Another big recommendation. Number 2. Sunrider, Mask of Arcadia. It is a very interesting visual novel that contains incredibly challenging battle sequences. The game is set in the future. It's basically a sci-fi visual novel with really interesting story and fun and addicting combat. I honestly can't believe it's free. It's incredibly enjoyable and fun to play. And don't be skeptical about it. This is a real strategy game. And a difficult one too. And also it's not like the battle sequences are short or a minor segment of the game. The game is built around it. I really suggest you give it a go. You won't be disappointed. The amount of strategy in this game might surprise you, and its high difficulty might surprise you even more. Number 1. Alien Swarm Reactive Drop. A great tactical shooter with many strategy elements. The point of the game is to reach the end of each map and complete a set of objectives. The maps are of course flooded with aliens. It can be played both single player and multiplayer, and it can be a great co-op experience. The game is also moddable and it has great Steam Workshop support. The current version of the game, Reactive Drop, has been released this year, and it's a blast to play. Single player or multiplayer. This is the game you have to try for its brilliant design, cool weapons and gadgets, and addicting gameplay. Hope you enjoyed this video. For everything about free games and more top 10s, be sure to subscribe to my channel. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to slap that like button, and I'll see you next time. Bye.